The games are about to begin. You're watching Butler Esports.
Ladies, gentlemen, and those beyond the binary, welcome back. Welcome back. Connor and I are at the desk again. If you were watching, you would have seen IU take a, I don't know if it was 2-0, 2-1. I believe it was 2-0.
I believe it was 2-0 as well.
Okay, IU take a 2, we'll say 2-0 for now. IU take a 2-0 against Butler, and this game right now is going to be Ball State at Purdue, and we are just hopping straight into draft right away.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get to see game one. Ball State is
Yeah.
in this 1-0 lead right now. It is going to be Purdue on blue side and Ball State on red side. We'll see if Ball State can keep this ball rolling. They are wanting to continue. They want to fight IU in the winner's bracket, and we'll see if they can make it happen whenever we can hop into draft. But what do you think the normal draft's gonna be for both teams? We didn't get to see the last game, but I want to hear your opinions on that.
I mean, I think for Ball State, at least, I'm less familiar with Purdue's roster, but I know for Ball State, it's probably just going to be more of the same, right? You know, get those control mages mid, probably going to have some kind of bruiser for Silk up in that top lane. I really want to see, I was telling you this, actually, I really like it when Shumslaw gets to play an actual AD carry. You know, Ziggs is strong, and that's fine, but I like it when Shumslaw gets to pick, you know, a real auto attacker. And we are going to hop into draft right now. So Purdue on blue side, going to ban out that Silk Flannel Fiora right away. And Quokka's Pike also getting knocked out of the pool. Meanwhile, from the side of Ball State, Draven ban, interestingly enough, and a pretty stock standard Gragas ban.
And then we also see Silk's Jax being eliminated as well from the side of Purdue. And then Skarner from Ball State. That is a really powerful B1 pick that Ball State does not want Purdue to get their hands on.
Yeah, Skarner first pick has been kind of the name of the game. But, you know, you left Yone open. They're going to pick Yone. Yone's super, super strong right now. And if you have the opportunity to pick him, most cases, you probably should. It's a nice flex pick. And Yone, again, is just disgustingly strong, in my opinion. But he's still a very solid pick, and well, I wanted Shumslug on an AD carry, but I guess Ziggs is fine. But we're gonna
Ivern's
pick
even better.
Yeah, you know, I'm still gonna hold out hope.
I mean, I would too. That Ivern on Remy piloting this Ivern, he can make miracles happen. He will be able to control the jungle, get the nice tempo lead for his team, and paired with Ahri mid lane for Wombat Baby, a signature pick from this player.
Yeah, Wombat Baby's Ahri is easily his most iconic champion. He's done some pretty cool stuff with it. It's a great comfort pick for him. It's a nice pocket pick that Ball State can always rely on. And, you know, it helps that Ahri herself is always going to be a pretty solid champion. So I like this so far, and we're going to get the Volley Bear locked in. So these are pretty, I'd say, the Ahri's maybe a little bit non-standard, but honestly pretty standard drafts coming out so far.
So far, yeah, but this is when we're gonna start getting to this point in the tournament where teams are going to be a lot more defined by the meta. Not as much as your typical pro play would be, but these teams are going to be looking for what is strong right now in the meta, what can we work with our team, and how can we make this happen. And even with these bans, from the comfort pick bans from Purdue, the Fiora, the Jax, and the Pike, Ball State is still able to find these picks in order to work around the meta, with Nautilus from Purdue being locked in, and Zaya. You actually got Chumpslog on an AD carry.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very, very, very excited. Chumpslog's performance last game as Zaya was fun to watch. We have the Nautilus coming out. Nautilus, you know, I permaban Nautilus personally when I'm playing AD carry. Do not like that champion. It is not fun. Ball State is going to ban out that Ziggs entirely just to deny the Ziggs pick there for Purdue. Purdue is going to ban out Poppy as well. Poppy would be a very solid answer into Yone, a very solid answer into Volley Bears. It's just going to be shut down. Plus, Coke on Poppy is just kind of spooky.
Yeah, he proved that in the last game that he played on this Poppy. Last time against Indiana Tech, they just could not move. He was locking them down left and right, and it looked like another little rat getting eliminated from the champion pool. The Kennen getting banned. They do not want a good team fight comp from the side of Purdue, and it's showing right now in their bans.
Yeah, potentially looking to angle a really solid top lane pick for Silk here. Alistar going to be banned out as well. So again, just trying to get Quokka really out of here. I mean, the Pike, Poppy, and Alistar are all being denied to Quokka. But I do like the Braum. I don't hate Rakan either. I think Braum might be a bit more of a solid answer into this Nautilus and Yone. But
I definitely feel like the Zyra Khan is definitely just an iconic duo that a lot of teams
all right.
especially go for, and it's locked in. This will give Ball State at least a decent
Yo!
winning bot lane. And as I say that, Samira Nautilus. This is an explosive bot lane with the Rumble too. This team is looking for fights, and it is showing. Ball State needs to draft at least some sort of big front line. That is what their team is lacking and what their team needs into this Rumble, this Samira. And it looks like the Aatrox hover for Ball State.
Yeah, Aatrox is being hovered. Silk Flannel very, very comfortable on Aatrox. I did see Cassante hovered. I wouldn't hate Cassante into this team. I don't know how the matchup with Rumble for Cassante
It
is.
does not sound like a pleasant one.
So we are locking in the Croc, and I am not entirely sure I like Renekton into this.
It helps with that early game. Renekton, one of the strongest early game bruisers, especially in that top lane. And when you pair him, or when you put him against that Rumble, it could almost mean the end of that top lane. You can let that Rumble never farm ever. But the thing is, as soon as that late game hits, when Rumble starts getting that equalizer down in that big team fight, which is what Purdue is going to be looking for in this team comp, Renekton might not be able to do anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Renekton tends to see maybe a bit too much presence in some of these tournaments. I think the champion is obviously very strong, right? You get that really solid early game up top, but yeah, I don't know if I like Renekton into this. I feel like there's a lot of ways to lock the Croc down, both with we got the Volibear, we got the Yone, we got the Nautilus. I mean, Renekton is going to have a really tough time getting into these skirmishes and these team fights. I do like the rest of Ball State's draft, though. I think Ivern is always going to be a really solid pick. There's Wombat Baby on the Ari, nothing else to say about that. And Zyra Khan, of course, these champions are designed to have that synergy together. But Purdue's got some power picks here. I mean, Yone, Volibear, Nautilus, that's like just 1, 2, 3. Those are all really scary. And then you have all this engage with the Samira. She's going to be able to stack that passive really quickly. And I mean, it's Rumble top. I don't like Rumble top. I don't think anybody really likes Rumble top.
Nobody ever likes to see a Rumble top, especially if you're a Renekton. I could not see this being a fun lane for Silk to be playing. But what other choices he really have? He doesn't have that Jax. He can't just dive on top of him. He doesn't have the Fiora to parry whatever CC the Volibear will try doing. So I'm assuming it's going to be Volibear jungle at this point because of the draft. I don't think any Rumble jungle shenanigans are going to be happening in this game.
I would be surprised to see a Rumble in the jungle,
But you know what? It could happen. Anything like that can happen. But I think it's just going to be the standard Rumble top with the Volibear jungle. And I think this is not going to be the best lane for Silk to be playing in. It's going to be a rough one. I could already see it happening. Except Remy on the Ivern. This will give so much shielding. This will have so much presence around the map. It does not matter. Except now we have especially with Wombat Baby on the Ari. If he can find the charms in the right places at the right time, that could be absolutely explosive, especially with Rakan with the follow-up, Xayah with her feathers, everything known to mankind to shut down somebody as long as he can find that charm.
My initial concern with Ball State's draft, though, is it kind of feels perhaps a bit reactive in terms of how it's going to play fights, because Purdue has a lot of tools to engage and get on top of somebody, so you're going to want to you make sure you're using your Ari charm as efficiently as possible. Make sure that Rakan ultimate is being used as efficiently as possible, right? You have some engage tools that can also function as disengage tools here for the side of Ball State. But the problem is once you lose them, you kind of you use them, you lose them. Whereas I feel like Purdue has a lot more consistent crowd control, a lot more has an easier time of kind of maybe picking out members of Ball State. So I'm gonna actually I love the Cardinals, but I might give the draft on paper. I think I like Purdue's just a bit more. There's so much synergy with Samira, and I feel like Ball State, they have answers to this engage certainly, but it's going to demand a lot more out of them in my view.
No, you're definitely right. That Samira will be explosive. it's gonna take only one CC, one Nautilus hook, one Volibear CC, one Yo Naga. It does not matter. As soon as Samira can find that engage onto a target, she will be able to get her stacks up and use that ultimate to hopefully obliterate the entirety of Ball State. It doesn't matter how much shielding, doesn't matter how much healing. Ball State cannot find a fight with that Samira involved, or else it will mean the end of that fight, no matter what, if they're fighting over these objectives. Which means I don't know how early their objective control is going to be for the side of Ball State.
Well, I do like the early game from Ball State's bot lane, because Samira is going to have a bit of a range disadvantage, right? Her level 1 isn't the strongest. Her level 2 even, it can sometimes be a bit dicey. So those early levels, always so crucial in these kind of things, are probably going to be a bit difficult, Samira, which I think goes in Ball State's favor. You know, Ball State has been playing for their bot side throughout most of this tournament, and historically usually tries to keep their bot side as strong as possible throughout all stages of the game. So there is a lot of early game potential here from Ball State. Actually, I think most of these lane matchups are gonna be okay. I don't know how Rumble into Renekton does. I am not a top lane enjoyer, so maybe that one's bad. But I feel like the rest of these are certainly good or doable. My main concern is just that when mid game hits, you know, like I said, there's a lot of team fight strength coming in from Purdue.
But we still can't deny that there is a decent amount of team fight strength from Ball State as well. If Quokka on the Rakan can find the quickness, can find the grand entrance, if he can find these tools in order to CC chain the ever-living you-know-what out of Purdue, it will not matter at all. Especially if Xayah can get her feathers down. If she has her ultimate ability, that's also a free get-out-of-jail-free card for any one or a couple of CCs if Purdue does not use their comms properly and they whiff too many CCs. But the main problem is, I think the Yone first pick will be the undoing of Ball State. As you said, that champion is too strong right now. But with one Ball State ban, it does not matter.
Yeah, Yone is, I mean, I'm sure anybody who's ever had to lane against him has just not had a good time, right? He can kind of just hit you from across the screen and then snap back and automatically win that trade. So it is going to be difficult. That being said, I think Ahri has really good tools to answer the Yone, right? You have the dash, you have the charm. Ahri charm, again, is going to be key here, I think. I think the really important lanes to keep an eye on here are going to be the bot lane, obviously. And then I think it's really going to be contingent on can we make sure this Yone doesn't, you know, spiral out of control in that mid lane.
Yeah, absolutely. But even if Wombat Baby is going to be going against the Sion, at least he is on what is supposedly his signature pick, the Ahri. He is so comfortable on this champion. He is known for this champion and how good he can be on this champion. And we'll see what happens when we hop onto this rift for game number 2.
Yes, this is game 2. So Ball State is currently up 1-0. It should be noted. And here we have the 5-man running down bot. Ball State taking a bit more of a traditional approach. Quokka, just get out of there, buddy.
He's just saying hi, the typical Rakan, what's up, all that other stuff. And then he at least has Chubb's log sitting right there, so at least no silly business or no funky business is going to happen this early on. I don't expect any big brawls going on right now, but we're already seeing somewhat invading and trying to get some early vision on that blue side. Maybe thinking that the Volibear is going to start top and then work their way down exactly to where Purdue wants to play towards.
This is big. You can see Ball State getting that early vision on the volley as they walk over that ward. So now they have a good idea of where this jungle is going to be pathing. Eugene is going to be spotted out, but Ball State now knows where that volley is starting and can plan accordingly.
Yeah, we're seeing the question marks go down. They know that he's starting top. Let's see how well this can do as the waves are going to start meeting and the jungle camps are going to start spawning and the true game does start now.
All right, I am so curious to see how this bot lane does. I think Ball State does have the range advantage here, but I mean, it is a Samira Nautilus. Those are spooky picks, and you can see Chumpslug already throwing down some trades as Saknom?
Saknom.
Saknom? Okay, we'll go with Saknom. It's like sock hop, but numbing.
But as you said before, not really the strongest level 1. So Ball State's bot lane is abusing this. Look at the HP.
Slog. Procs that PTA. Gets Socknum very, very low. Meanwhile, we have AZ1 and Wombat Baby. I think it's going to be a bit of a neutral lane. It's going to be hard to kill that Ahri pre-6. Similarly for Ahri, it's going to be hard to kill that Yone pre-6, I feel.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But we're going to have to see what happens. Like you said, nothing much is going to happen out of this bot lane from Purdue, especially at these early levels. We have to wait for that level 6 and all these other good power spikes, especially when Eugene the jungler does come down to try to gank. He's just now getting to his red buff, where Remy is starting to make his way towards his top side, where he has already marked most of his camps.
Yeah, Remy going to be clearing up to the top side. Want to take advantage of that renekton early game. Ball State probably going to want to go for these Void Grubs. They've been going after them almost as soon as they spawn every single time. In the meantime, they're just going to be playing the farming game, waiting for everyone to get up some early levels. It's relaxing, you know?
Yeah, and then we see Silk trying to get in the face of Phantom. Not gonna budge, though. Remy is gonna sneak up behind Phantom. He knows he's there, obviously. He's walking in there.
Remy has not used CC yet, and
the flash, the
flash
miscue!
Come, and then the stun is going to land onto Phantom. Phantom is taken super, super low, but Silk takes a tower shot. First blood goes to Ivor. Meanwhile, in the middle, the Wombat Baby is getting Q3'd by AZ1, but, well...
It just doesn't matter.
Yone Q3, snap back, bye-bye.
Yeah, that was a really, really, really good play by Ball State. They knew where their strong side was early game. This Renekton, they wanted to shut down this Rumble early on. And granted, this does not mean the end for Phantom's lane. Rumble still has insane, and I mean insane scaling with all of this, especially with, he only got the one answer off out because he only has 13 CS. And already Silk is building up that MR, that magic resistance, which is exactly what he needs. What we're seeing, Quokka just takes a little friendly foul out of his fellow support.
And Quokka... Oh, okay, I was about to say, Slacknon was looking for that hook, but here comes Remy with the re-engage. Does not quite land that Q, and it's just going to be a bit of a missed opportunity down in the bot lane, as it looks like they're both just deciding to back off for the time being. If that hook landed, things would have gotten very dicey very quickly.
Yeah, I feel like now the bot lane of Purdue is going to be looking a little nervous. They're going to be feeling really nervous. They don't exactly know where Remy is pathing to now. Even though he is not there anymore, the threat of him is still there. And Silk is getting burnt alive in this top lane.
Yeah, Conqueror is going to make that trade a bit more worth there for Silk Final. And yeah, so the early game of this bot lane is just not going very well in Purdue's favor here. Chumpslog is just able to DPS them from so far away. Dragon has spawned, and Grubs will be up soon. Ball State, again, historically, goes for these very often as soon as they spawn.
Yes, they do, but I don't think that either of these junglers would be looking for this early game objective, especially for the Dragon. I feel like they're going to be putting a lot more pressure on the Void Groups here, with the Yone and the Rumble and the Renekton. So many ways of them to get split pushing pressure down, and for them to find some sort of way to get the lead so early on.
Yeah, and if you take a look at your minimap, we do see Remy here in that top side of the jungle making his way to that Void Group objective, I believe. However, we are having a slight issue here, and that will be a game pause, actually. All right. Wow. It's been a very slow start to the game. You know, we had a couple of fights try and pan out, but it's been pretty down tempo, pretty low key.
No, I mean, this is exactly what the side of Purdue wants to do. They wanted to play it slow. They wanted to make sure that they do not fall that far behind early game.
And it appears
on our
that
skins, it's looking better.
Yeah, it appears that the pause has been unpaused, at least for the time being. It appears that Silk had a disconnection issue. Although, currently we aren't getting any footage at the moment. This might be a classic Riot Games moment. Happens every so often, you know. League, it's a very old game. It's slowly trying to, you know, update itself, make itself a bit more modern, but, you know, sometimes things just break in the system. But it looks like we are getting back into the game now. So the pause has to finish. Silk Flannel back in the game, and we have an engage in the bot lane as Polka dashes away to safety.
instantly after the pause. They are looking for blood. They are looking for something here. And with that, that will be the wave. Shoving in does not crash, but that means that the bot lane for Purdue can now come up, and the early dragon will surely be taken by Purdue. And hopefully, Ball State will trade that on the other side and go for this cross-map play.
Yeah, and you can already see that happening as Remy is already on the Void Grubs. Wombat Baby going over to join him. First Drake going to Purdue, but Ball State will take the Void Grubs as a trade.
And I think that both teams, they got what they wanted. They understand, okay, we can't just fight willy-nilly now. We can't just do that right now. So we're just going to cross-map. We are going to go for what we can. We're going to look for what small advantages we can. Ball State only up about 1,000 gold in this early game. Most of it definitely going to more the way towards the Zaya with the Cole, with the extra farming power and the extra gold. And we're seeing Silk getting burned and still going off, the Conqueror being proc, but it does not matter.
Actually, I think it does matter. Silk is making a really good use of this Conqueror rune in trying to make these trades just a bit more favorable for himself as Renekton. As you know, the melee versus range matchup is not always the best. Actually, up top, we do have Remy maybe looking for a lane gank.
Secret Agent Remy going into the top lane. I don't know if Phantom knows about this.
Oh.
We have to wait and see. He might be trying to shove the wave here. He can't just, but then Eugene's also sitting there. He's waiting.
And here comes the engage. The stun does land onto the rumble with the equalizer. It's coming out. Silk pops the Renekton. Old Remy is forced to flash away. Is only level 5. Has no Daisy to save him. The shield goes up, and oh, this is going disastrously wrong for Ball State. Or perhaps it's not. Silk will take down Eugene as that Conqueror finally fully stacks. The stun lands. Daisy comes out as Remy levels up in lane. Phantom and Eugene go down. And Silk, I'm sorry I ever doubted that Renekton pick. You're clearly making it work here.
Remy looking at them and saying, not even close. Looking at his health bar, he was so low. Got the level up at just the right moment. Getting Daisy, getting the knockups, getting the roots, and Silk finding those kills. And Remy also taking one for the road.
Very good start for those. Ooh, Wombat Baby. Lancet Charm doesn't quite have the cooldowns to follow up on it. Just going to take a nice trade instead. Ball State in a really good spot here. Has about a 3k gold lead. 3 kills to Purdue 0. This is the Ball State early game we're all used to. And they're very, very good at snowballing this into an absolute nightmare.
And now all lanes are going to just start settling out. This is where, oh, never mind. We have the knockup coming out, and Wombat Baby hits the charm, gets so much, but it doesn't matter because Yone just says, I win that trade because I am Yone. It does not matter.
I thought I saw a Saknam Spoke animation go off for a second. It was like, oh, that's very interesting engage. We do have both these junglers down here in the bot side, so Remy is more than available for a counter gank. And it looks like Remy might be padding that way now, but the bot side going to back off here for the time being. It's very frustrating here for the side of Purdue. The vision is just very much in Ball State's favor.
Both supports just sitting in their respective bushes. They're waiting for somebody to make the move. Remy does get spotted out by that ward, so nothing will happen at this very moment. Volibear is still sitting in the bot side, where Silk will find the stun onto Phantom and still continue to fight, but then we go back to bot lane. Choke Slug hits the root on T1 Gumayuki. But it doesn't look like it's going to be much of some friendly trading back and forth.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to find a good angle to fight here. Both these junglers playing around this bot side, trying to find something, but again, the vision game is just too strongly in Ball State's favor. They're there for the counter gank. It's going to be hard for Purdue to make anything happen down there. You know, there aren't any neutral objectives on the map right now, so it's mostly just coming down to play your lane. You know, all those fundamentals, last hit, trade. It's kind of boring, but it's natural. It's just solid League of Legends, and Purdue does not want to throw their lead away just yet.
No, you said it.
You
almost said it perfectly until you.
Oh, that thought, and there's the dodge. There's the charm. AZ is in a really bad position, but the Rakan ult does not connect. AZ1 loses their flash. This is what I was talking about. Wombat Baby on that Ahri has all these tools available to just dodge the Yone immediately. Post 6, I said look for some activity, and there it was. You get the mid laner's flash as the Void Grubs spawn.
And now Eugene sitting down here looking for Chumpslong, seeing red. The Void Grubs will be traded on the other side, but the ult, the Nautilus ult will come out, and the Volley Barrel will come out, negating the turret. There's a TP that's going to come down, and the ult from the Samira comes out and finds Chumpslong, but then Silk teleports down with the ult and finds Eugene. Is he going to look for more? He will! He gets the stun on T1 Gumayuki. The Nautilus hook will stop it, so it looks like he will trade his life for the ADC, but that is 2 kills going over to Silk, Flannel, and only 1 going to T1 Gumayuki.
Yeah, I said, hey, make sure to keep an eye on that bot side of the map. There's going to be a ton of activity there, but it is Silk who has been in the driver's seat all game. 3 kills already, and he's got that early magic resist. He's got that early phage. He has got a lot of tools now at his disposal, and that is really, really good. You want that Croc getting fed. Renekton ahead is... Well, I mean, it's Renekton ahead. It's terrifying. I don't like it when a fed Renekton destroys me as an ADC.
Silk, we are so sorry that we ever questioned you on this Renekton. You are looking phenomenal out there, getting the Strikebreaker at 11 minutes into this game, and then we're seeing also Wombat Baby getting that Malignant. This will be a huge power spike for both the mid and the top laner, but right now we're seeing Eugene claiming the second dragon, and Ball State is nowhere to be found, so this will just go the way of Purdue.
Yeah, but I know Ball State wants to try and preserve their tempo, so resetting there is a pretty solid idea, but you do kind of give up that dragon in return. It's a bit unfortunate. Now Ball State, they're still ahead, so this isn't necessarily a death knell, but it does kind of put the pressure on once you realize that those soul points start to add up. Eugene just going to take some damage, but you do force out the TP from AZ1. Interestingly. Oh, Wombat Baby, I am so sorry, is going to just be engaged on. Likely dead here. That Smear all is active. The Redemption, and meanwhile, is coming down top as there's a gank on the Phantom. Wombat Baby down bot lane. Did manage to get out. Gumayuchi wasn't quite able to hit that S rank in time to get the ult going. So Wombat Baby lives to fight another day. But meanwhile, we have this dive going on topside. Eugene here with the counter gank, the stun on the Remy. Remy's taking very, very low. Meanwhile, bot side, we also have a fight going on here. Wombat Baby will take down Gumayuchi. Says, aha, that engage. It was merely a ploy, so I can engage on you. And Remy is still hovering topside. Really wants to dive Phantom. Ball State wants these Void Grubs. They're coming up soon. Silk is just going to walk forward. Gets the stun. Pops the ult. Is rooted by the Ivern, and Silk is just going to run out, but Eugene is here, does have the stun available, is going to flash stun Silk. Silk needs to get out. AZ1 is here. AZ1 has the Yone ult available. Silk taken low, and it gets caught up in that Yone ult. Remy shielding themselves, trying to stay alive. Meanwhile, Silk is going absolutely crazy and kills the Volley Bear, but the shutdown on Remy is gotten there by AZ1. Silk is very, very low, does not win this, has to dash to get out. AZ1 looking to secure that kill, gets the shutdown.
Unfortunately, the flash from Silk just was not up. This is an absolute bloodbath happening for both teams, but Ball State is still up almost 5,000 gold right now. They are still someone in the driver's seat, but this Yone will not let it happen for long. This champion, 2-0, he is looking for his first item. He will be looking for it soon on his back, but the Rift Herald is now spawned. The only neutral objective that is up right now. So the teams will start to path their way up here, go for the resets, and start focusing on this objective.
And you can see Wombat Baby already trying to get some early vision, but Purdue is already on this Rift Herald. Ball State, if they want to contest, I'm not sure that's a good idea at this point, needs to move fast. They're not even going to bother, just going to try and make plays happen on the other side of the map. Coca here going to catch out T1 Gumayuchi. The charm lands, and that is a dead-looking Samira. Only at the D rank is going to get charmed once again by the Rakan this time. Manages to get out, but unfortunately Coca will secure the kill, so get out she does not. And Ball State is going to try and convert this to a mid tower.
Yeah, we did hear the Demolish come out, but they're not able to get it off. Just the Root and just 3 members attempting to stop this siege of this turret. But you see Chumpslong down in the bot lane dealing with the Yone down there, and Silk Flannel is left up top to get the first turret. So much gold left in his pocket, and Yone doing what Yone does best and not letting any gold go into the pocket of this AD carry.
Yeah, so it is, you do kind of lose that Rift Herald, which obviously is not ideal for Ball State, but you get a lot in return. I mean, that's what, 2 towers that are down now. I believe they got first tower yeah, they did get first tower. I mean, Purdue hasn't taken any towers. That'd be pretty difficult for them to get first tower. So yeah, that is first tower there for Ball State. I think overall, that's fairly word. you're going to especially want to get this Renekton even more on pace to take over the game. Silk a bit cut out.
Stoke looking like he's getting burned, but then
Oh.
the Yone all comes out. Wombat Baby is in huge trouble right now and dies because of the Soul Unbound. And then we see the Renekton all come out. The hook from the Nautilus is looking amazing, and Phantom gets the kill. They are not out of this game.
Yeah, sorry, Wombat Baby. You were in the exact same lane as Yone. That means you don't get to exist there anymore. He just ran all the way. He just ran what feels like from across the entire lane just to get Wombat Baby. Is going to convert that to a bot tower. Ball State trying to trade objectives here and get that mid tower, but Gumayuchi and Eugene are going to make that pretty difficult. The tower does go down. Poke gets engaged on, and Jumpslug and Quokka are just going to leave the scene. Meanwhile, red turret on the bot side, destroyed.
Destroyed it was. Yone is not gonna let just these small little inconsistencies happen ever. This champion is too good. 3-0 right now, 186 CS in only 16 minutes. The rip charge does go down, does not destroy the turret, but does bring it to half HP. Now Ball State is having to regroup mid and having to figure something out because the dragon will be spawned in less than 30 seconds. Silk is at the top lane. His TP is up if they want to invest it. And Yone looks like he is moving to contest Silk Renekton up top with his TP as well. He has that just in case that either team looks for a big fight here. Just some little chip damage going on, so nothing big will happen just yet. And as I say, there's an X-Flash.
Lands on the Poke backs out immediately. Daisy caught by Remy as they're looking for the counter engage, but all of Purdue is backing off. Silk Flannel opting to save. The TP is coming down from the top of the river. Meanwhile, the root lands. Poke in there with the ult. Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3 charms. But Eugene is there with the Volibear ult to counter engage. Wombat Baby finally gets a pick on the Eugene, and this is looking very Ball State favorite. But Gumayuchi has that smear ult popping, but it is not enough. AC1 is on a rampage. Will pick up the kill, but Ball State picks up 2 more kills and are looking to close this fight out as it is just AZ1 versus all of Ball State, and there is nothing you can do, or maybe you can do something as Poke does fall, but Silk gets the shutdown, and that is a dragon for Ball State.
Yes. They will stop this dragon stacking from Purdue right now. AZ1 will find 2 people. We'll find the jungler. We'll find support because he is Yone. This is also a player difference. He knew what he could do, but even with that, he just didn't have the numbers behind him. But now we're seeing an offensive TP behind. He's getting sandwiched right now. The stun does land.
Silk has been a really bad spot here. Uses both E's to knock the airborne, and that's just a barbecued alligator right there. Going to be nicely tenderized by the Rumble, and T1 Gumayuchi will secure that kill for themselves, getting some more gold onto that Samira. Samira now has that collector first item that can do some pretty spooky amounts of damage with it. Ball State gonna have to be careful if they want to save this mid tower. Poke with the engage. Oh, okay.
And he found the root.
And here comes the rest of Ball State. This is a slow fight, and Purdue seem loath to take it as Daisy goes down. A second of it gets charmed, missing their hook. Ball State does not want to give up this mid tower, but that wave continues to push on. Purdue needs to make a fight happen now, otherwise they're just wasting time in this mid lane. AZ1 does not find the Q3 onto Quokka. And it looks like Purdue gonna accept their losses, just back off, try and play for this upcoming Baron.
Really good control from Ball State. They cleared that wave really fast, stopping any sort of play that Purdue was going to be looking for. But right now, we see the char land from Wombat Baby. It's only going to be some chip damage right now, but now the ult will be invested and the TP will also be invested. Equalizer goes down in your tower.
Saknon is unfortunately going to die to that tower. Ball State does not want any of these towers to go down here. Airborne AZ1. AZ1 is charmed, does not get the Yone ult off, and is eventually going to snap back, trying to find some kind of kill, but is rooted once again by Remy. Quokka mistimes the Rakan knock up a jump slog on a killing spree. Anyway, the Baron spawns in beautiful fashion. Ball State probably looking to take it here. The Eugene is there, but Ball State has decided, all right, it's 20 minutes. We are just going to start this Baron.
Yeah, but Samira is pushing that lane. Gets the first tier, gets the tier 1 turret for the mid lane. Eugene is going to try to find his way in, but There's so many iron bushes everywhere. He just doesn't have the vision inside of the Baron pit. He finds the root, and then Silk and Cloaca over the wall. The volley barrel has to be invested in order to make him live. The
Eugene needs to flash,
gets
too.
that.
Eugene
Gumi
might be
Yuki
going
is
down.
going back in.
Is going in and just immediately dies. I'm not sure if this is worth it at all for Purdue to contest. Maybe just take the tower and accept your losses. Purdue only losing T1 Gumi Yuchi there, but that was not the fight to take at all.
Now with that Baron, Ball State is up almost 10,000 gold, and it's only going to be more. The tier 2 turrets are still up in every single lane. That will be so much gold, so many items, such a big advantage for Ball State if they can push this lead, which will make it way easier with this Baron buff.
Ball State just looking to convert that, just use that Baron to siege, get some towers, get some inhibs.
And right now we're just seeing Remy clearing his jungle, getting that blue buff for his team. The first tier 2 turret will be claimed by Wombat Baby in the mid lane, and objective bounties will come up for the side of Purdue. It is not looking good for them right now. But now, Samira with the 2 items now, with the Infinity Edge, so much damage can be brought up by this one character if she can get her style points up with the ultimate.
And that's the ultimate question, isn't it? You need to stack those style points up on Samira, and Ball State is just not giving her the opportunities to do so whatsoever.
Yeah, but right now, both teams are just going to be waiting, getting as much gold as they can, because the Mountain Dragon will be spawning in less than a minute and a half. Oh, and then
AZ1's gonna get
AZ1.
cut out and is just gonna...
He says bye. He says goodbye. I'm out of here.
Adios. Away he goes.
Oh, man. That is just so unfortunate. Ball State could find that. That would be so much money for their AD carry if he could find that. But unfortunately, the Yone ult just gives him that free get-out-of-jail-free card. Same with, like, the rest of his kit. It is so sad that this champion is so overpowered. I am so sad.
Oh, man. You're not a Yone enjoyer, I take it.
No, never, never, never. I love it when it's on my team, though.
Ball State in a pretty good position here as the Dragon is coming up, and they have both his top and mid waves push in, with Wombat Baby pushing that wave down on the bot side as well, looking for a tower dive up top.
But the Dragon is up in about 30 seconds. They have to be looking for this. And then Purdue has to contest them on this, or they will lose so much gold. But it just doesn't matter. They push through down.
Eugene is charmed, and in goes Foka. Foka getting a massive knockup, but it's taken very, very low. Has to get out. Remy flashes out. Silk will take down T1 Gumi, and that is all Purdue's damage, just gone in a flash. AZ1 is about to die. Down he goes. Double kill for Silk, and that is the rest of Purdue that will go down. Ball State takes the top tower. They take the inhibitor, and they will take the game just like that.
That was just so much damage. It shows that even in this kind of game where both teams were so close at the very beginning, both drafts looked absolutely phenomenal. It just doesn't matter. You have to play those team fights absolutely perfectly in order for your team to come out on top. And playing it up perfectly is what Ball State did. They played those team fights absolutely phenomenal. They played towards their winning side of the map, and that's what got them the game.
Yeah, their team fighting was certainly something to behold. I really liked a lot of Remy's plays in this particular one. He does some magic with that Ivern. I think the thing that I really want to commend Ball State for is they just had exceptional macro. They were fine giving up a dragon when they knew they couldn't contest. They traded, they made plays across the other side of the map where they knew Purdue wouldn't be there. And Purdue, I really think, especially right when Purdue tried to contest that Baron fight, that was just such an awkward fight for them to take. You see Gumayuchi kind of just going in there into the entirety of Ball State's team. It was just a bit of an awkward Baron fight, and Ball State was able to easily convert that into a win, essentially.
Gumayuki saw that he had Collector, he had IE. His ult could have been up if he got the style points up. He looked for it, but just couldn't find it. And it's still the same thing happened that would have happened even if they just left the Baron alone. If they left the Baron alone, they could have at least had some members up. They could have at least had some gold in their pockets in order for them to back and defend at least one or two of their turrets. But then they got greedy. They went for the steal. They went for the kills, which then snowballed that game completely out of control. And one last team fight is what lost them the game.
Yeah, it really does come down to that. Very well played by Ball State in particular. Shout out to Silk, who I feel like in terms of, the spotlight, hasn't had much of it today. He's kind of had to play a few weak side top lanes.
Shen.
Yeah, had to deal with that Shen. It's probably been rough. So congratulations, your Renekton was absolutely the highlight of that game. Performed very, very well, and yeah, I do think it was just a bit of a macro diff. But next up coming is Ball State and IU, two teams that have been doing very, very well so far. I'm very excited to see how this one pans out. But we will be going to a short break in the meantime. GG, well played to Purdue. Congratulations, Ball State.
Don't go anywhere, y'all.
Thank you for watching. For more updates, follow the Butler Esports socials at Butler Esports.